So this question has a photo along with it. There's a pool and some coping, vinyl liner pool, and some crumbling concrete. So the question is, if there is a pool in this condition and you need the PVC coping redone and some of the concrete patio, what is the process for tackling something like that?
So first off, the best way to do it would be to remove the entire patio. Remove the patio. You can still, even with the liner in the pool at this point, you could pull that patio away. What happens, let me explain what's happening there, is you have a pool wall. Pool wall, say this is the water here, this is the shape of the actual steel pool wall. You put a coping on it right here and you pour concrete in there, which is about 2 inches. And then as it gets past the end of the wall, it goes to your normal 3.5 inches. And now we have this little 6-inch section that's a lot thinner. And over time, that wall flexes, freeze, thaw, movement, heat, all of that. It moves a little bit. And what it does is it fractures this concrete all along the top. And that concrete along that front edge almost becomes mush sometimes. It's like little shards. And that's literally because as the patio's moving, you have part of this concrete on this thinner part of concrete on that steel wall, and the steel wall is not moving at the same rate as the pool's moving, and you get all this weird movement in there, and it shards all that concrete on that front edge. Fairly common thing. Typically takes quite a few years for that to happen, but a fairly common thing. Ideally, you remove the entire patio, pour all new concrete. Going to happen again? Yep, 15, 20 years down the road, probably going to happen again. The only way to avoid that would be to do something else on that front edge and then pour concrete behind it. A whole different animal. But the ideal way is take all the patio out, re-pour it. However, I've seen fairly successfully done is cutting out 6 inches of concrete all the way around the pool from the face of the concrete coping 6 inches back or 8 inches back, and cutting and removing all of that and then replacing it fairly successfully. It's just going to take somebody with a lot of patience that's willing to go through the process of chipping out this little 6-inch by 2-inch strip of concrete without damaging the coping on the front. It's certainly possible, but the best way to do it is to replace the entire patio. And if it's time to replace the liner, and you're going to go to full renovation, then I would certainly at that point recommend replacing the coping as well, because then you're starting out with a fresh coping that's going to hold the liner and you're not going to have an issue. Again, what happens with that coping over time with that concrete moving and everything moving slightly is you get some fatigue and it doesn't want to hold the liner as tight as it used to, and you run the risk of you getting those smileys where the liner falls out of the coping a little bit. So if you're going to go to the effort of pulling out all the patio, I would go through the effort of figuring out how to replace the coping as well.